CM Punk's AEW return date has now possibly been revealed to be taking place not only in Chicago, not only on AEW Collision, but at the United Center as well. We've got details on the date, the location, plus which stars are set to appear primarily on AEW Dynamite and which stars are set to appear primarily on AEW Collision as part of this roster split in All Elite Wrestling. Details on that, plus what is the status of AEW All Out this year, set to take place just 7 days after the AEW All In London show at Wembley Stadium. Details on that, plus Colt Cabana makes his Ring of Honor return this week. Why did Komander choose to sign with AEW over WWE? We've got details on that, plus Mercedes Mone gives an update on her contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling / Stardom. Kota Ibushi has named his dream match if he were to appear at AEW All In London. Athena has called out opponents from around the world to defend her Ring of Honor Women's Championship against. And Sean Spears thinks Tony Khan is a cyborg and talks about possible retirement in the near future. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about none other than CM Punk. More details have now been revealed when it comes to Punk's return to All Elite Wrestling, when he's set to return, on what show he's set to return on, and more details on this brand split, this roster split that we're going to be seeing in AEW, with stars being set to either Dynamite or Collision, having two 2-hour shows, one on a Wednesday, one on a Saturday, one on TBS, one on TNT. This is absolutely a fascinating story. Let's start off when it comes to the date scheduled for CM Punk's return. AEW reportedly has a date scheduled for the return of CM Punk and seemingly the debut of its new Saturday night show. According to Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Punk is scheduled for Saturday, June 17 at the United Center in his hometown of Chicago, Illinois. Meltzer noted that not everything is officially finalized yet, but the building has been booked for that date. The show is expected to be announced very shortly. This, of course, comes after the reports of AEW launching the new Saturday show, likely called AEW Collision, based on a trademark filing, with a returning CM Punk plan to be the top star of that show. The plan is said to present the new show as equal to Dynamite in terms of star power, presentation, etc. There have been reports of a planned brand split between Dynamite and the Saturday show, largely as a way to keep people separate if they have issues with each other, like the Elite and Punk, but obviously there are others too. We'll get into that in just a second. There had reportedly been a planned meeting, or a meeting that is planned, with Punk, Chris Jericho, Tony Khan, FTR, and maybe others. Of course, as of last reports, that meeting hasn't happened just yet. Of course, if we get any more details on that, we'll of course let you know. Meltzer mentioned in The Observer that this meeting has not yet taken place, as I mentioned. The decision to have Punk return was reportedly made many weeks ago, but 2 weeks back there was a snag that was evidently has been since figured out, according to Meltzer. As well as the June 17 show at the United Center, the June 21st episode of Dynamite is also in Chicago at the Wintrust Arena. So basically what you've got here is the June 17 show, AEW Collision, at the United Center in Chicago. Then that following week, June 21, is at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. That's Dynamite and the Rampage tapings. They're the go-home shows to Forbidden Door, which is taking place in Toronto. So Punk's going to appear, as the plans are right now, at this Collision show on June 17 in the United Center. Whether or not he's going to be in Chicago for those Dynamite and Rampage tapings remains to be seen, and whether or not he's going to be at Forbidden Door, that also remains to be seen. We haven't really got any more details on that, but as of right now, CM Punk's return date is planned to be June 17 at the United Center for the debut episode of AEW Collision. Now, when it comes to this possible brand split, roster split, whatever you want to call it, the names of several AEW stars who are planned to be staying on Dynamite when the company's brand split comes into play have now been revealed, at least not officially. While there's been no official announcement of the rumored Saturday AEW show, potentially titled AEW Collision based on a trademark filing, it seems extremely likely based on reports from numerous reputable outlets. Adding to this was Dave Meltzer via the Wrestling Observer newsletter, as I mentioned, who would report that Punk's Punk's return and likely debut of the primetime Saturday show are planned to be taking place on June 17 from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. However, while Punk is seemingly set for a stint on Saturday nights as the top star of the new show, what of his former adversaries, the Elite? According to Meltzer, once again in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the plan is to have them remain as a fixture on AEW Dynamite along with the Blackpool Combat Club. Meltzer writes, quote, "The Elite and Blackpool Combat Club will remain the top attractions on the Wednesday night Dynamite show." The idea, as I mentioned, of this brand split largely appears to be a way to keep people separate if they have issues with each other, like the Elite and Punk, but there are other people who have issues with each other, not just Punk and the Elite and others as well. So certainly, what are your thoughts? Can they have two separate shows that have the equal star power? Is the AEW Saturday Collision show going to succeed? What are your thoughts of CM Punk returning at the United Center in Chicago for the debut of this Saturday show? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Which stars would you like to see appear on Just Dynamite and Just on Collision? Let me know all in the comment section below. This story is going to be a big one, and we're only just getting started with it. Now let's talk about AEW All Out. There's been quite a lot of talk about All Out this year, with AEW All In taking place at Wembley Stadium in London on August 27. The status of All Out is somewhat up in the air. All In was the inaugural event for what would become AEW back in 2018, produced by Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks in association with Ring of Honor. AEW's debut show in the United Kingdom has used the event name instead of going with the AEW All Out name, the name of their regular late August, early September pay-per-view. Whilst AEW have been quiet on the All Out front, Dave Meltzer has addressed the topic in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, writing, quote, "While AEW has not made an announcement or officially responded regarding if there will be an All Out, there are people who work in AEW who have privately told people on social media saying All Out will be a week after All In. This has not been confirmed to us by anyone in AEW who have been quiet about that subject. When we've asked people in AEW about whether there will be an All Out pay-per-view show, we've gotten no answer, so officially there's no answer to that question. Aside from in 2020 when the event was held at Daily's Place, All Out has been held at the Now Arena, formerly the Sears Center in Chicago, Illinois, or rather in Illinois, it's actually just about outside. All Out has traditionally been held over Labor Day weekend in September, which would be a week after All In if the pattern continues. So as of right now, there's no official announcement on it. Unofficially, there's been some people speculating, yeah, it's just going to be a week after. It had been rumored that All Out was going to be at the United Center, but would they book another or possibly a United Center appearance just, a couple of months or a month or so, 6 weeks or so after booking it for the AEW Collision show? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to figure all out those logistics at the moment right now. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Colt Cabana is back on Ring of Honor television in the main event of last night's episode of Ring of Honor on Honor Club, a big bout for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Making his debut appearance on Ring of Honor Weekly Television under the AEW umbrella, Colt Cabana challenged Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. This match marked Cabana's first appearance on Ring of Honor programming since a victory over Anthony Henry on the 0-hour pre-show for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view Death Before Dishonor back in July 2022. Death Before Dishonor marked the first pay-per-view under the control of Tony Khan after the AEW CEO and president acquired the wrestling promotion, including the back catalogue earlier that year. Cabana did notably, however, have a match against Chris Jericho on AEW Dynamite with Ring of Honor implications as he challenged and lost a bout for the Ring of Honor World Championship on the November 2nd edition of AEW Dynamite. After Cabana and Joe put on an enjoyable and hard-hitting match, taking fans down a bit of a trip down memory lane in their Ring of Honor histories, in the end there could only be one winner, and Joe defeated Cabana to retain his Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Now, a big signing for AEW this week was the signing of Komander. Of course, he had interest from both AEW and WWE. Komander is indeed All Elite, despite interest from WWE, joining Jay White as a recent signing for Tony Khan's company. White made his AEW in-ring debut on the April 19 episode of Dynamite facing Komander, with Lexi Nair getting to speak to Komander post-match. It had been previously confirmed that both WWE and AEW had an interest in the Mexican luchador, and Dave Meltzer has now explored the reasoning for Komander joining AEW. Writing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Meltzer states, quote, "This makes both Jay White and Komander in recent weeks signing with AEW over WWE, which had significant interest in both. Komander really made sense because AEW generally offers far more to guys of that level, as WWE would be expected to put him on the NXT deal with the idea that if you do make the the main roster, you'll get good money, and there's no guarantee of that main roster, and probably not for years. Dragon Lee was going on the idea he'd be main roster in 1 year and then start making $250,000 or more, and time will tell how that plays out, but he'll probably get more in-ring time and television in NXT. Of course, basically what Meltzer is saying there, that money is better initially for AEW. That's why Komander would have chosen them over WWE, and Komander would have had to go to NXT, which he probably would have, and he decided not to do that. Mercedes Mone. What's going on with Mercedes Mone? Well, IWGP Women's Champion Mercedes Mone has addressed rumours about her contract status amid speculation about her future. Mone will defend her IWGP Women's Championship against Mayu Iwatani at All-Star Grand Queendom on April 23rd, with recent reports indicating that Mone doesn't have more dates lined up with New Japan or Stardom under her current agreement. It has been heavily speculated that Mone will drop her gold and move on. Speaking with Sports Illustrated, Mone claimed the rumours she's heard about her status are false, noting that Japan has become her second home. Mone noted, quote, "The rumours are so far from the truth. If it's not coming from me or my voice, then how does anyone else know my business? None of it is true unless it's coming from me. It's just a reminder that I'm a conversation starter. This is my new home. I'm embracing the way of life. I'm riding the train, I'm eating the food. I'm not here for a quick second. I have a kitchen in my apartment, but when I go out, I'm eating yakiniku. It's amazing. It's this amazing barbecue. I've been enjoying everything. The pancakes are amazing too. This has become my second home, and I'm committed to staying here and making history." So Mone indicating she's going to stick around in Japan for quite some time. Now, could Kota Ibushi appear at AEW All In at Wembley Stadium in London? Well, former New Japan Pro Wrestling star Kota Ibushi has pitched potential matches for himself at the upcoming AEW All In London event. With AEW set to run at Wembley Stadium for the August 27 pay-per-view, there has been a lot of speculation about the debuts the company could have planned to help sell tickets for the huge venue. Speaking with Dark Perosu Flocion, Kota Ibushi agreed that something super special is needed for a Wembley Stadium sellout, believing that he should be on the All In London card. Ibushi said, quote, "I think something super special is needed, especially if you want to fill out every seat. I believe I'm the essence that's necessary, and my mental and physical state is the strongest it has ever been, so I'm very confident about it." When asked about potential matches, Ibushi indicated that he wants a singles match against Hangman Page and Chris Jericho, also hinting at a reunion with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. He said, quote, "All In is taking place in Wembley Stadium come August, right? Perhaps I could face Chris Jericho or Hangman Page in a singles match, or with the Golden Elite." Ibushi recently noted that he hopes to be in contact with AEW President Tony Khan very soon. Now, talking about All In London, Adam Cole and Dr. Britt Baker, they star as cast members on the AEW reality series AEW All Access, airing directly after Dynamite on Wednesday nights, in addition to their in-ring action on Dynamite. Speaking to Good Karma Wrestling, Adam Cole said about the big event, quote, "What's exciting for me is there are so many guys that I want to step into the ring with at AEW that I haven't had the chance to wrestle yet. When I think of all of these different possible matches, like a Sammy Guevara or Darby Allin, or even a Jungle Boy again, or something like Jay White, or something like Kenny Omega, or maybe even something like MJF for the AEW World Championship, I don't know. There's a lot of different possibilities, but I know whatever I'm involved in at Wembley, I want it to be special, and my God, I cannot wait for that show." With Britt Baker, she shared her thoughts on a potential match and was equally open-minded, saying, quote, "Same for me, there's no one I wouldn't want to wrestle at Wembley, just to be a part of the show and part of the whole process. It's so exciting." So who would you like to see Adam Cole and Britt Baker face off against at Wembley? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about that. Athena, the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, has called out all opponents all around the world, specifically mentioning Mexico and Japan. As she continues to slay opponents she calls porcelain hussies, Athena remains the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. Now, Athena is on the hunt for some new opponents, as noted she is willing to take on competition from all around the world. After taking on Heather Reckless in a proving ground match on last night's Ring of Honor episode airing on Honor Club, Athena continues to look for the best and brightest opponents from around the world so she can bash their faces in. The fallen goddess Athena has been on a hot streak since winning the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, frequently featuring in hard-hitting, show-stealing matches since the debut of the weekly streaming show on Honor Club. So, who would you like to see Athena face off against in the future? Certainly, she's open to all opponents. Finally, Sean Spears thinks Tony Khan is half a cyborg. Sean Spears has shared an interesting theory about AEW President Tony Khan, praising his boss for his amazing memory, holding executive positions with AEW, Ring of Honor, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Fulham, and True Media Networks. It's fair to say that Khan has quite a few responsibilities. Speaking with Insight with Chris Van Vliet, Spears noted that Khan is busy but a good man. Joking that Khan could be a cyborg, Sean Spears said, quote, "I have never seen him yawn, so I'm assuming no, that he doesn't sleep. He might be half a cyborg, who knows, but that guy has a ton on his plate and just a steel trap of mind. He remembers everything, every detail. When I first met him, we were having conversations. He's like, I remember the match you had. I forgot about it. I was like, really? Yeah, it was in such and such city. And I'm like, holy shit, are you buttering me up? No, he remembers everything. But he's not just like that with wrestling. I've walked into his office and I've seen him. He's got his iPad. I hope I'm not going to get in trouble for saying this, but he's got his iPad set up. He's watching a Jags game. He's watching a Fulham game. He can multitask like no one I've seen before in the midst of putting a card together and getting everything done. What a sweetheart of a man. He gave me all the time in the world when my mother passed, and now that Austin's been born, I had all the time in the world to be home with my wife because it's just here. He's just a good man, a busy man, but a good man. Now, in addition to that, Sean Spears has also hinted at retirement as well. He said that he's got one big goal that he wants to achieve before he retires. In the same interview, he said, quote, "I don't want to do it for much longer, not because I'm being forced out of it or anything health-wise. I'm in very good shape. I feel like I've done a lot. I think I'm pretty level-headed, but I'd like to win a championship. I'd like to win championship in a major company, and the reason being is one of my favorite photos ever is John Huber, Brody Lee. I think it was his second time as TNT champion. He has a photo where he's holding the title and his two sons with him. They're just so happy. They're like, you know, kids are so proud of their parents, but the look on his face, to me anyway, is almost like he knew it. He felt that he knows what this moment means to them and means to him. I'm not jealous of any other man or human being on this planet. I'm very happy with who I am. What you see is what you get. I'm very good, but I'm jealous of that photo because he had that beautiful moment with his son that's going to live forever in that photo. It's going to live with me forever. I want the same thing from me and my son. I want that moment. It would kind of be a nice little period at the end of a 20+ year career. It would be something that he can hold in his hands, whether he understands it or not. He knows that daddy did this for so long and daddy got this. Okay, so if I want a World Series ring, then I have to go do this or whatever he wants to do. I just want him to know that if you're willing to work hard enough and you put in the time, there's a prize at the end of the tunnel. If you're willing to go for it and not stop, I just think his kids are going to grow up to be wonderful men. I believe they're going to look back at a lot of those photos and they're going to be like, my dad did it. I can do whatever I want to. I know that's the legacy he's going to leave with them. I want to leave something like that with my son. So I don't know. We all want to be champions. That's kind of in the mold. That's why we get into this. But more so now, I've had him. It's just a stamp to kind of wrap things up. So could Sean Spears ever hold a championship in AEW? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about that as well. But there you go, guys. Latest AEW news for you today. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And I'll speak for you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.